Hi, I'm Mark, and this is Mainstream 101, a video series where we tell you all about your mainstream network. Today we're going to talk about the most vital part of the mainstream network. We're talking about that cable right there. We're talking about fiber optic cable. Why is it important? Why is it the choice of mainstream fiber? Why is fiber optic cable the best option compared to, say, coaxial cable that you'd see from cable television or satellite options that you frequently see out in rural areas? And why we choose fiber is such a huge, vital part of the mainstream network that I knew I needed to bring in the big guns to help. Earlier this week, I had a chance to talk to Mike Wilson, who's the head of Public Relations and External Affairs here at Mainstream, to talk to him about why that cable, that mainstream fiber optic cable, is so important in what we do here. Howdy, Mike. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, of course. It's good to be here. Always good seeing you, Mark.
We're talking today on Mainstream 101 about why fiber optic cable is the best option for fiber internet. So let me ask you, what makes fiber optic cable unique compared to, say, the coaxial cable that people are maybe used to from other internet services or cable television?
Fiber in itself is a great technology because you're passing light through glass, essentially. Coax is a technology that still has, as a backing, it still has copper to it. And so you are limited in terms of speeds because you're relying on that copper. It's not going to be able to pass through at the speed of light. Like our product actually passes through, data passes through at the speed of light. With a fiber-backed network, you're also going to find what we call symmetrical signaling, meaning that the signal that you get from your router will be on fiber. If you get 1 gig service, you get 1 gig upload and download, which if you're a content creator or you are an engineer, medical field, if you work in education, you can find yourself with some very large files very quickly that wouldn't necessarily meet the upload speeds that you would want as a customer. So that's why we have really decided that we're getting behind fiber at Mainstream, because we just know that this technology is so much better.
In a lot of rural areas, we also see satellite services as an option as well. Obviously, that's passing through the air. There's going to be a lot more difficulties there. Could you sort of explain why satellite services like that also fall short of the goals and the benchmarks that fiber often does?
When you think about, especially in southern and western Indiana, where most of our customers are, you have two things that kind of get in the way for satellite and for fixed wireless as well. And there's a lot of tree cover in southern and western Indiana, a lot of hills in southern and western Indiana, and that is not conducive to that technology. So I'm not saying that low Earth orbit satellites don't have a need somewhere, but what I would say is if you can get fiber there, you should, because it's going to have that reliability. It doesn't matter if it's storming or not. It doesn't matter if there's a tree that's in the way between you and the carrier. So that's the stuff that I would focus on as a customer. If I were thinking about what option should I push for in my particular community, I would always push for fiber first. The very premise of fiber itself is a stronger technology and is the more flexible technology that is more scalable as we look down the road to what can carry more bandwidth. The amount of data they're able to push through is going to make even 1 gigabit per second speeds look ridiculous in probably about 5 years. If I'm asked where the focal point of evolution is, and certainly of research and development, to tie back to what I was just saying, it is absolutely down the alley of fiber for sure.
A huge thank you to Mike for taking the time to talk to me. Obviously, a huge part of what we do here at Mainstream is making sure we choose the best possible option for your internet service, and we firmly believe that fiber is that best option. It's the fastest, it's symmetrical, it moves the way you need it to move. That's why we choose to do our best to bring fiber to rural areas and areas all across the state of Indiana. So now that we've talked a little bit about why we choose fiber and why we think fiber is the best option for you, if you agree, if you were convinced, if you were like, hey, that fiber sounds pretty great, I'd love to have it. Next time on Mainstream 101, we're going to be talking about the options that you have on specifically the Mainstream network and why you should choose Mainstream fiber over any other fiber service. We're going to talk about residential service. We're going to talk about business service. We'll talk about that in the coming weeks here on Mainstream 101. We'll see you then.